O'Connell won the AP Coach of the Year last night at NFL Honors, and now he's got a big offseason ahead. What's he going to do at quarterback? Sam Darnold, your guy, had a huge year in Minnesota, and he wants a long-term deal. O'Connell says the Vikings will continue to have an ongoing dialogue about bringing him back. Colin, I don't think you or I think that Darnold's going to be in Minnesota. Obviously, J.J. McCarthy waiting in the wings. Look at the stats here on Darnold. First 16 games, he was incredible, right? And he ended the season kind of on the struggle bus. What's your guess? If he doesn't stay in Minnesota, where's he going?
I think the Raiders are in play. USC, Pete Carroll. If the money is right, I think the Raiders are in play. But I also think I think Shedeur Sanders drops. I have talked to two people in the league, and their favorite part of Shedeur Sanders is the kid, not the quarterback. Yeah. They like him as a person. They feel they can build around his personality and temperament and his maturity. They're not in love with him as a quarterback. So I don't know. I can see Pete Carroll making a run at it, but I can also I can see Pete Carroll saying, listen, we're going to give Shedeur the controls for a year. And if it doesn't work, next year's a great college quarterback draft. We could redraft and move. So I think that's a possibility.
Well, how much would you be willing to go to pay Darnold? Because I don't know that
I think he's Baker.
Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, I think he's that high 30s, mid to high 30s. I'm comfortable, very comfortable going. And I think Baker's contract allows you to retain a Mike Evans,
right,
a Chris Godwin. And I think that's what Sam needs. Sam's not going to get a receiving core like that. So he's arguably not going to get a coach like that. So don't think. We said this with Gardner Minshew when he had Shane Steichen and went to the Raiders. He's not taking Shane Steichen with him. No. So you're not taking Kevin O'Connell or Justin Jefferson with you. Yeah. So understand you're going to get about 80% of Darnold's production. Is that good enough to pay him $35 million? If you go in with those expectations, then I think you're fine.
Yeah. So listen, I still think what Sam Darnold did this season was unbelievable. I do not put all the blame on him for those final two games. I just don't. And I highlighted those games. I highlighted what Dan Orlovsky said about those games, about what John Middlecoff talked about. Someone like Kevin O'Connell does deserve some of the blame for that. And I think Kevin O'Connell is awesome. I just wouldn't be so quick to just say, oh, yeah, we're going to move on from what's his face, from Sam Darnold, and then just now move on to J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy is still so young. I mean, he is insanely young still. He just turned 22. 22. So there's really no rush. And I would be nervous just to be like, okay, we're moving on from Sam, because you still have such a great roster with the Minnesota Vikings, and you have pieces and weapons that you want to be engaged and happy. And these young quarterbacks, it takes time. It takes time, and unfortunately, because of JJ's injury, I don't even know if you really have the full evaluation of Kevin O'Connell's opinion on J.J. McCarthy. And everyone talks about, you want to be able to take advantage of the rookie contract and all that. Yeah, that's fine. That is absolutely a benefit, but you still want a great quarterback. And so, if I were the Minnesota Vikings, I would just not be in a rush to move on from Sam Darnold, because we saw Sam Darnold improve and get so good so fast that you're banking on that actually can continue to trend upwards, that he can continue to get better as a quarterback. And so if you do get Sam Darnold for like $100 million deal, $30 million a year, whatever it is, that's amazing. That may as well be free. You can still do some serious damage. And then you still let J.J. McCarthy in the wings learn, grow, and develop. Andy Reid himself said it was invaluable, the impact that Alex Smith had on Patrick Mahomes, that it was massive. At a minimum, that's what you get with Sam Darnold and JJ. And I'm not so sure you got that because of JJ's injury. I don't know if you really got that full, hey, well, I'm sitting for a year. So you got to be fluid. You got to be a little flexible. Because there's a real chance that you can sign him to like a 3-year deal or something like that. and you keep him, you could probably get it somewhat of a discount, relatively speaking. And if Sam continues to ball and play great, then awesome. If not, he will most likely still play good enough where someone will happily take on his contract, will happily take him as a trade partner. And it's kind of like no harm, no foul. It kind of ends up being like a win-win situation. I think the Vikings want to keep him, but they want to keep him at the right price, right? Like they don't want to sign him to like a $45 million, whatever it is. They want to get him as cheap as possible, obviously. And I'm sure Sam, though, also wants kind of some confirmation of like, hey, like I want to be the core. I don't want to like sign here only to have you then like bench me midseason and put in JJ. Like I don't want that either. So I feel like it would be totally okay, especially considering his age, that JJ can sit for another year, have him just straight up sit for another year, guarantee Sam, hey, if you sign here, you will 100% be the starter no matter what, any of the adversity that we face, outside, and you have a real honest conversation, outside of you just playing honestly absolutely awful, or you're throwing like 3 interceptions a game, no matter what, the ups and downs of a season, you are our quarterback, no risk at all. We can guarantee you that for this next coming year. After that, it'll be a little bit more fluid. We promise you, and this is where you're going to have some trust. We promise you that if JJ is now going to step in for you, we're going to do right by you. We are going to send you somewhere where you can win a good situation, et cetera, et cetera. We will find a partner for you. We will figure something out. We will work with you. And if not, and also it's like, but like if you keep winning, if we get to an NFC Championship game next year or something like that, like we're gonna keep this party going. And just kind of leave it fluid. I think that's like technically a more conservative way to go at it. Everyone's very quick just to like anoint JJ McCarthy. And it's just like, you just can't be so quick to do that. And truthfully, it's kind of obvious. The fact that Kevin O'Connell and the Vikings have ongoing dialogue, whether they stick with him or not, they're still not 100% sold on JJ then. Otherwise, they would say, that was an amazing year with Sam. So awesome. Sam's an amazing person. We want to do right by Sam and make sure that he can go somewhere where he can be the full-time starter. We're going to be moving forward with JJ. Like, they would say that. That would be known. You would hear that. We're not hearing that. We're not hearing that at all. So that should signal. So I just wouldn't be so quick to jump on the JJ McCarthy train if Kevin O'Connell himself isn't. And I promise you, he knows more than you. He knows more than me, I promise you. He's there. And listen, as someone who's had JJ's injury 3 times, I've had the surgery 3 times, it's not something that is a sign of future issues. It's not a sign that he's going to continue to have knee problems, etc., etc. Even if it doesn't even heal exactly how you would want it, it would just shorten your quality of life, or not, I shouldn't say shorten it, but it'll inhibit it. But like, he could still play. You could remove your meniscus and he could still play, have an amazing all-time great NFL career. But the fact of the matter is that he did get surgery and there was some issues. I know he had to get some injections, stuff like that. It just wasn't 100% how you would want it to go. That is a little disconcerting when you're 21, when he had that surgery. Your body, when you're 21 years old, should be an absolute robust healing machine. An absolute robust healing machine. It should be like, doctors, especially when they work with like real special athletes, they're like, man, their bodies just heal like it's nothing. Like it's nothing. Like it is superhero. In fact, that's a huge part about what it takes to be a professional athlete. It's just your ability to recover, your ability to get banged up and then heal. Whereas a lot of people, there's been plenty of people who have truly had similar levels of talent of professional athletes, but their physical body just can't endure it. They have the talent, they have the skill set, but they can't endure it. And if they do get banged up, if they do get an injury, they just don't heal like some of these other guys. And I mean, and so again, I'm not saying that JJ McCarthy's on the bad side of that. I'm not trying to make any predictions about his injury proneness or anything like that, but it's slightly disconcerting that you wouldn't just be like, all right, great, we're just going to jump in. It would be so much easier if you just sat JJ for this whole year and like that was it. But the fact that he had the injury and the fact that there was still somewhat healing complication. I know there was some confusion because some people said they had to go back for another surgery, another procedure, but it was just an injection. And I know injections these days are given out, but I still, to my knowledge, the stuff that I read, there was still it still just wasn't exactly what you would want to hear. And as for someone who's 21, like your body's there, man. Like it's in the prime of healing. It should be the most routine, standardized, surgery ever. Seriously. I mean, he should be able to actually be back and play football like that season, actually. I mean, seriously. It really does not take that long. I mean, it really doesn't. I mean, like he should have been 100% by like, what did he have? He had the injury in August. I mean, by like November, October, he should have been like, yeah, it's like it never happened again. So, just something to kind of just keep in the awareness of it all. Yeah, I am really curious to see what the Minnesota Vikings do here. I think what they decide to do with Sam will speak volumes about how they feel and the level of confidence that they have in J.J. McCarthy. Or if it comes out that Sam Darnold's just kind of getting a little greedy and wants max money and he wants nothing under $40 million or something, then that's a different story. But I'm definitely going to be following this because I find it interesting, and I do stand by Sam Darnold being a really, really good quarterback and a quarterback that you can win with. So no team should be quick to either overlook him or just move on from him. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Minnesota Vikings and Sam Darnold? Do you think that they should move on from Sam and start the J.J. McCarthy party? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.